What's up, my little unicorns, new and old? It's West Indie Ray back again with another video. Today I just wanted to talk about how many doctors, the pharmaceutical industry, the medical industry not only keep us from becoming our highest selves, but also actively and swiftly move us in the opposite direction. Now, one of the main points of this video is to establish a distinction between me identifying what's wrong with the medical and pharmaceutical industries and me saying that all doctors are stupid or something, because that is not what I'm trying to say at all. Now, by this I mean I do think that a lot of doctors are very smart people. I do believe that a lot of them are very compassionate, they have good intentions, and in a situation to where there's an emergency or I get into an accident and break my leg, you dang right, I'm definitely going to the doctor. I'm definitely going to the hospital. Rush me there, call 911, I'm in there, I'm trying to skip the line, all of that, okay? But I do believe that with all the years that they go to medical school, a very low percentage of that is spent talking about the whole body and what's best for the whole person. And because of this, I feel like a lot of the treatments that are suggested when we do go to doctor's visits don't treat the whole body, they treat symptoms. Whereas if we were treating the whole body, it would be a lot easier to fall back into synchronicity, which is a huge thing when it comes to a person's overall well-being. And in my experience, when questioning a care plan that a doctor's trying to put you on, many times it turns into like, oh, what medical school did you go to? Rather than a conversation where my feelings and my beliefs can be validated, where my intuition can really take the front seat, and you know, maybe I'm onto something. Maybe my body and my mind and my spirit is guiding me towards something that would be good for me. Let me say that last part again. There are people out there who will get offended because you are making suggestions about what you want to do with your body. And just as many of us take issue with other people outside of the doctor's office trying to tell us what we can do and can't do with our bodies, the same exact principles should apply. Take childbirth, for example. It wasn't until the early 1900s where women somehow became convinced that they had to rush to the hospital to have a baby, where oftentimes they were blindfolded, heavily drugged, and chained to beds and forced to lay on their backs to deliver. That in and of itself goes against the law of gravity, yet still to this day, we rush to the waiting room at the very onset, at the very thought of going into labor. We wait eagerly until we are dilated enough for the doctor to see us. We allow them to disrupt our natural processes and break our water for us because they're doing all this on their time, right? Oh, you've been in labor too long, let's just go ahead and do this. And we do all this for what? So that we can have babies in a sterile, uncomfortable environment with all types of weird energies, weird intentions, death, literally death going on around us. It really doesn't make sense, but we are so trusting to these doctors who really haven't made our situation any better in that way. Now, like I said before, if you are in a life-threatening situation and the baby's breech and there's no way to turn it and all these things like that, definitely go to the hospital. But these things should not be rushed. There are times when technology works in our favor, but oftentimes it's not without some consequence, like maybe internal bleeding or death for you or a loved one. This realization is why I've been so gung-ho about living more of a holistic lifestyle and catering to not only my body and my mind, but my spirit as well. I actually mentioned this on my Instagram the other day in the little herb videos that I do. I had a conversation with my grandmother about one of these herbs, and she was telling me that with all of the different uses that she had for this herb in her head, she's sure that there are so many more, because herbs never just treat one or two things. It's always just like a whole slew of things, and even some things that we don't know that it treats, but it does. Herbs have so much of a different story than a lot of these chemical medications that might treat your blood pressure, but guess what? It's gonna make you have headaches or extreme vomiting or bowel dysfunction or something like that. I just think that it's super important to really do your research before rushing into something that might cause your body to be in an even worse state of abnormality, which is really what creates the perfect breeding ground for diseases and other things like that. And this doesn't just mean to be wary of doctors. You really just have to do a lot of research on what is going to be good for your whole body. You, the way that you are, not how anybody else is, but you. And with that being said, when you do your research about these holistic practices, be cognizant of where you are actually getting your information from. And if you're finding lists of adverse side effects of taking medicine from the earth, or just like a whole bunch of trash talking about how these things don't work, make sure you look at the URL or scroll down to the bottom of the page and see, is this organization really looking out for my best interest? Would they make money if I purchase their products rather than having a whole field of medicine in my backyard? Do they have ties to governments or any other organizations that may have an agenda and wouldn't mind if I was like a collateral victim of that? Why have they staffed somebody to write this article and put it out there for free? Who is benefiting off of the release of this information? These are questions that we have to ask ourselves as we move further and further away from being one with ourselves, being one with the earth, and so on. We're constantly watching movies and TV shows where people are being injected with chips or weird substances that change the way human life is experienced. Then we go out of the movie theater and face the same reality. For those of you who believe in this, someone once said to me that if we are really made in the eyes of our Creator, what does that make us? We are creators, we are healers, but we're constantly fighting the God within us to the detriment of the whole. I say all of this to urge each of you to really, figure out what's going on with yourself. Not just your physical issues that you're having, but how might your spiritual healing heal that as well? How might your mental healing heal that as well? A lot of times we have backaches or headaches because of stress. You don't think that that has a lot to do with your mental or your spiritual? Don't be so quick to pop a pill to heal it, okay? There are so many other ways that you can heal yourselves without going to these chemical solutions, these temporary chemical solutions. And at the very least, instead of trusting other people with what might be one of the most important decisions of your life, at least just look up the ingredients, figure out what it is that you are ingesting when you take these medications. And for those of you who are interested, I have a series running on my Instagram right now where I just profile different herbs and holistic lifestyle hacks and things like that. So if you're interested, definitely go check me out at WestIndieRay on Instagram. The game is free. I'm just providing simple alternatives to some of the synthetic medicines that we ingest. Also, a lot of times with herbs, they don't just help you with your physical and your spiritual and your mental, but they have properties in them that will help you with your skin and help you with your hair and things like that too. You'd be shocked at the clear skin that you can achieve while healing your diabetes. Please also make sure that you follow my waist bead and healing crystal jewelry collection on Instagram at INDIGO9Jewelry and shop on indigo9jewelry.com for more. And as usual, please leave me a Lil Unicorn in the comment section below if you made it to the end of this video. Also make sure you like, subscribe, comment, and share. Follow all my social media accounts right down there. I'm trying to get to 100K by the end of this year, so if you love me, please share my videos, and I hope this was beneficial to you. I'll see you in the next one.